Hello everyone, I welcome you to the EduTap platform, and today I have honor to introduce you all to a candidate who have successfully cracked RBI Grade B examination recently. And I like to welcome Bhargvi Goyal. She is currently working as assistant manager in the Indian Bank. And with the working environment, she was able to crack this examination. So from this interview, we are going to learn a lot of lessons. We are going to learn her journey also, and this can very much help us to understand the whole process. And if you're somebody who is aspiring to be next RBI Grade B officer, you are going to learn a lot of things today. So I welcome you, ma'am, to this platform.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction.
And congratulations on clearing this examination. I know the feeling must be great and incomprehensible. So first, I like to open up with a very light thing. Once you saw your roll number in the list, what was you feeling?
I was very excited, ma'am. I just called my parents and then told me, and they were also very happy to hear that finally she has cracked it.
It's a great achievement. And I think if our parents are proud of us, they are the first person we run to. So let us start with your journey to RBI. Okay. So when did you start preparing for RBI and how this journey start and what was your background?
Uh, Basically, I'm a commerce background student. I have done BCom honors from Delhi University, and then I started giving government job exams. So I firstly in 2019 I gave two exams, RBI Grade B and SBI Clerical. So at that time I was not able to clear mains for RBI. So and I was able to clear SBI Clerical. So I joined the clerical at that time. And after that, while working in bank, I got interested in banking more and more. So then I shifted to Indian Bank as a probationary officer. And then I've been working in Indian Bank for a few years right now. And in this year, last year in 2023, I again sat for RBI Grade B, and I was able to clear the exam this time. So yeah, I'll be shifting to RBI now.
So next thing I would like to ask you is, see, in 2019 you also gave the examination, right? So what inspired? Why RBI?
Since I was a commerce student, I was naturally inclined to RBI, the biggest, the banker of all the banks. So everybody has this key. We want to work in the biggest bank of India. That was the inclination.
I think so. The prestige the RBI have and also your own interest in the banking environment puts you to RBI's direction since it is the best, right? So that is great. Now you have completed this inspiration. So while you said ki you were working, and when we are talking about the, even the PO, and we are talking then about the assistant manager, the job in the banking is very hectic, right? So how did you manage to prepare for the RBI along with your job?
It was hectic. First of all, I thought maybe I should not go for it. Maybe it will not be a good idea to study while working. But then the motivation it inspired me. Like, let us try. Even if it does not work, let us try. We'll get to learn some new things. And while doing, I developed the interest in studying also the subjects. They were also interesting. And you'll find time if you want to do. We'll find time. Weekends are always there. Weekdays may you can take out 1 hour, 2 hour according to whatever you like. Maybe even 3 hours. Because in the during the evening after coming you can study for 1.5 hours, and then in the morning 1.5 hours. And even if you're not able to do that on a regular basis, weekends you can extend your preparation. You can pull yourself and do, because weekends may uh, don't go out and don't waste so much time and do, because it's just a matter of like 1 year preparation.
Hmm.
So
So I think that's a great lesson ki during weekdays you will have to manage the time as much you can. Like if you can manage 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, you can try to push. But yes, in weekends you will have to make some sacrifice and you will have to prepare full time for your job, full time for your aspiration. That is for you, it was RBI. For somebody, it may be again RBI or NABARD or such regulatory body examination. So I think that's a great lesson, especially for the working candidates. So now, since you were in the job, did you get time or did you manage to, bunk some meeting or something like that? In the working days, did you prepare for the examination or no? At work days, I'll have to focus on the banking job. After only coming to house, I'll have to do it.
No, while working, you will not be able to like get time to skim through your notes or something like that. But in the mind, always you can be like, "हाँ, कल रात I studied this thing," or in the morning I just gone through this. So just you can do. Or while going to the office, you can read the important news or listen to what was the important current news of today. Just that much you can do, not more than that. But
तो
you can
थोड़ा
always revise in your mind कि
हम्म
कल ये पढ़ा था, तो revision is also important. That will be completed while you are there.
सो मतलब नोट्स ओपनिंग इफ नॉट पॉसिबल वन शुड गो फॉर मेंटल रिवीजन कि बस क्या क्या
Yes,
पढ़ा था वही रिवाइज कर लो.
yes, yes.
एंड आई थिंक दैट इज ग्रेट बिकॉज इट सॉलिडिफाई वट एवर यू हैव रिवाइज कि मतलब आपको याद भी हुआ और यू जस्ट हैव गॉन थ्रू द मटीरियल. Right.
Mm.
So I think that is great strategy. Now, since it was a long journey, and when we are talking about the banking job, it's not a easy job. And then coming home, preparing for the another examination when you have just, you're transitioning between the jobs also. So who become your support? Who you would say was the unsung hero of your preparation journey?
Ma'am, I would say my parents were my unsung hero. They were always there to support me, matlab, to keep my spirits high, to keep my mood uplifted. They were always there. Whenever I felt low, I just talked to them. And also EduTap, because EduTap was the guide, the mentor. Matlab, notes, materials, all things came from EduTap. And also my colleagues also helped me, like if you do not get the environment, you will not be able to do. So
Mhm.
my colleagues were also nice. And matlab, unsung hero, basically my parents were my unsung hero, and all others have supported me.
I think having that healthy support system is very important. And since your
Yes.
parents were there with you, I hope it would have cheered you up a lot and also pushed you. कि, okay, do your best, do your best. That's a great thing. Now, have your colleagues or the friends or the brother, I mean, at home, people have started teasing you, saying not Bhargavi anymore, saying RBI officer.
Yes, even people, friends and colleagues at office, they are like, they generally joke about notes, uh, like, or one, whatever, the new notes, new currency, and things like that. Yeah.
So now that feeling must have been great, right? Soon you'll be shifting to the RBI. Now, when we are talking about this system, so while you are preparing for this examination, I know the job was very hectic and you also were preparing. Did you have any hobbies that managed your mood to be uplifted also and keep you floating throughout the journey?
Yes, ma'am. I like singing. So whenever I was stressed, I used to sing my heart out.
That is
So
great,
that
I think.
used to keep me calm. And you have to have one hobby so that you don't feel burdened with whatever circumstances are there.
I think that's a great lesson that support system is there, but yes, when you're alone, you cannot be 24/7 talking to somebody to support and motivate you. Sometimes it should come from inside of you, and for that,
Yes.
singing did it for you, and that's really great to hear. Now, when we are talking about your journey, right? So you gave the examination in 2019. So in 2021, since you didn't give it the examination in 2020, 2021, 2022. In 2023, what motivated you ki okay, no Bhargavi, just give this attempt again?
There were two factors. Firstly, I thought that when there is eligibility, so let me try once more. I should not regret फ्यूचर में आफ्टर 30 years के आरबीआई एक बार तो ट्राई कर लिया होता, क्या पता हो जाता. एक ही अटेम्प्ट दिया, 6 attempts are there for one person.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, banking was also seemed interesting, so
Mm-hmm.
it was also motivation ki let us try for the bigger bank, maybe it happens.
Yeah, I think career progression, and you would say career progression and the limit that you have. I don't want to have regrets. Rather, I'll put whatever effort that I need in this attempt. So I think that is really great. Now, when we are talking about your journey for phase one, so how did you prepare this time? How did you prepare for phase one? And what in 2019 when you give the examination, you must have prepared, right? So from that learning or that preparation, what learning you took and you incorporate this time in 2023 that helped you to clear the phase one of this examination?
uh, for quants I prepared somewhat extra this time because I thought the level of the questions has increased. So for quant I watched many videos and revised my previous material that I had. So I tried to improve myself in fonts. Baki reasoning mein what I did was, in the exam there were many puzzles.
Hmm.
So I did not attempt any puzzle question
Hmm.
because they were all very difficult, three variable puzzle questions. And if one gets stuck onto one puzzle question, the entire time for reasoning goes into that puzzles. There are 60 questions in reasoning. So even if one skips those puzzle questions, one can get marks through the statement based questions. So I attempted all the statement based questions rather than wasting my time on puzzles. So that helped me clear the reasoning cutoff. And for English, I practiced the sectional mocks, some sectional mocks, and for GA, this time GA was a bit difficult because some reports and database were asked. Previously, it was not that much difficult, but this time it was a bit difficult, but it was manageable. Even if not we get the maximum marks, but the cutoff was cleared. So in GA, the general strategy is to read the monthly compilations that you have and read it not once, twice, thrice, and underline and keep on revising it. Revision is the only key for GA. You have to solidify the material that you get from
Right.
just one source. Don't attempt theory from two or three sources. Take just one source, be it any one, and do it nicely, do it properly.
Right. And what one source that was for you?
EduTap was my only source for pre, mains, and interview. May I took mocks from 3 to 4 sources,
Mhm.
but for mains, the EduTap was my only source for pre, mains, all the subjects.
Right, right. So, what basically I understand from you is for quant, you took extra effort and you put a lot of faith there. And since the questions ka difficulty level was increased, so you also increase your effort. Okay. And I think for the future candidate, I would also suggest कि if you feel like okay, based on the PYQs, if the difficulty level is increasing, practice you have to do more. Then coming to the reasoning, I think that was a very great advice that if you cannot attempt, everybody say ki DI is important, question will be there. But if you are not able to attempt the question of DI, don't waste your time there. You have other questions also. Scheme through the questions, only attempt
Puzzles.
the question. Yes, yeah, puzzle, sorry, not
Mhm.
DI, puzzles. My bad. So puzzles may if you feel like ki you are not able to do the puzzles, then no need to force yourself to do the puzzle. Go for the other question that you.
Skim through the entire paper, and then you'll
Mhm.
get to know statement-based questions. Do it one there and then. And
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is left is then you can utilize your left time on that.
Mhm.
If you are able to do, it's good. Then otherwise, no problem.
I think that is also great aspect because everybody talked about the content ki, okay, this source need to be covered. This is how you should cover the source. But when we come to the actual examination, such advices are really greatly helpful because nobody knows what question they have to do, what question they not have to do. Right. And candidate usually complain ki they are not able to manage time in the phase one of RBI. So I
Choice of
think
questions is important.
yes, yes. So it will all come down to the choice of question that just like you have said. And for English, you give a lot of sectional test, right? They are basically mock type of test only for the section of English. So that helped you. And for GA, you refer to the magazine. Now, beside this, for revision, did you give any mock or did you give any marathons?
GAK revision, I watched the marathon sessions,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever material I had, I used to once again go through the material. While the marathon was on, I used to
Mm-hmm.
look at the material also. So it was again a revision type of thing for me. The booster
Right.
also that came at the end, January to May current affair booster or
Mm-hmm.
reports booster, schemes booster, all that is for mains.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, GA booster, it also matlab, helped at the
Yeah.
end. Along with the
Right.
video, you will read the material, and combining both of them, you get it.
So what you did was you prepared through the monthly magazine. Then for the revision purpose, you went for ki, okay, I should see the booster also. And for practice, you took the help of marathon. Okay, I think that is great. Now coming to after giving the phase one, how confident you were ki, okay, I'll be able to crack this time the phase one of the RBI? Or was it like you were not confident and you waited for the result to start your preparation for phase two?
No, for phase one, I started immediately because even if one gets selected and there is only 20 days left,
Mm-hmm.
so it will be difficult to manage in those 20 days. So I started after 3 to 4 days. I started my preparation for second phase.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even if I was not, I did not know what the result would be, but I just started my thing. So in phase second, then I first of all thought that maybe I would not be able to clear phase second because time was less. There was a lot of lot of things to revise. So it was like maybe I will not be able to do. And I even said my parents कि ये तो अब नहीं हो रहा है, ऐसे ही है, बस दे आएंगे पेपर इसका तो. पर फिर दे सेड लाइक कि डोंट लूज योर होप, अभी देरी है, एक निकाला है तो क्या पता ये भी हो जाए, अपना तो पूरा एफर्ट डाल. तो फिर आई ऑल्सो थॉट के 5 दिन रह गए हैं, 5 दिन और है, पढ़ लेती हूँ, देखा जाएगा. तो आई जस्ट स्टडीड एंड देन गेव द एग्जाम एंड हो गया.
I think that is great. Ki even if the result is not out for phase one should not lose the hope. Start
Yes,
preparing. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको एक साल तक preparation करनी है. You get limited time, so why take risk, right?
yes. Only 1 month is there. So 10 days
Hmm.
is time when you are studying and don't know whether the result would be in your favor or not. 10 days studies you can manage. And if
Yeah,
the
yeah.
result comes in your favor, then you have very less time. Then you will regret
Mm-hmm.
के 10 दिन तो waste कर दिए.
I think that is great advice. Ki once your phase one is done, start preparing for phase two. Right. So now phase two के लिए when we are talking about, just like you said, you were from the commerce background. And in phase two, we have FM, we have descriptive English, we have ESI. So we'll start with the FM since you are from commerce background. How FM का पेपर लगा था कि easy होगा और वैसा ही आया, और was it like कि no, although I'm from commerce background, थोड़ी सी preparation करके जाती हूँ.
I prepared normally like any non-commerce background would have prepared. But the paper came easy for FM. ESI it was difficult, paper came difficult, and FM के लिए it came easy. So paper was easier than the previous. I don't remember the, yes, it was easier than the previous level. Plus no numerical questions were there for finance. It was anticipated that numericals won't be there and they were not there. So paper was easy, MCQs were easy, and management में, and finance में भी all the theory questions, and there was this new scheme, uh, finance current affair retail direct scheme, and such questions were asked. ONDC was also asked. It was
Right.
overall manageable paper.
And what sources did you refer to for FM?
FM के लिए, both for FM and ESI, I used the summary sheets of EduTap.
Okay.
I was not able to watch the videos, but I used the summary sheets. I got them xeroxed, made a booklet, a spiral booklet, and then I used to read them again and again, underline it, and something which I was not able to understand. I used to watch a video of that topic, not from the EduTap because it was a lengthy video. You will not be able to search where it is being talked about. So just watch a normal YouTube video of that topic. For any YouTube video of any teacher, it can tell you कि इस topic में ये बताया गया, and then combining it with whatever the material was saying. So I was able to do finance and management both.
I
Numericals
think
I practiced, but not that much because they were not going to come.
right. So for FM, I think your approach was very smart. You don't like completely rely on only video or only notes. I would say you made notes your primary source, and if something is not like there, you are not able to understand something, you watch the different separate video for it. Rather than
Just type
finding
the
it in
name
the
of the
course.
topic,
Yes,
write the
yes.
name of that particular topic.
Yes, yes. In the YouTube, you watched video related to that topic, you understood that, and then came back to the notes. Then try to read, combined it, and I think that's a very unique strategy that you applied to, and that also worked in your favor, right? Since you had limited time, so I think this is a very smart approach. Now, coming to the ESI part, which was I think comparing it to the FM part, ESI was a little new to you since you're not from economics background. So how did you prepare for the ESI part? What was your strategy and sources for this?
For ESI, also my source was EduTap. I used the summary sheets, same I did for both the subjects. And what else I did was the data compilations that used to come in the current material, because ESI is majorly current. So I firstly studied for FM and then I started for both. I was studying simultaneously, but the current I used to take some data points and write them in the notes of the ESI with along with that topic or material. So it makes you it creates a good content that you can use when in the theory paper. So, and revision, basically just reading all that material, revising it, don't follow too many sources, rely on one single source and then revise it again and again. That was the strategy.
I think that is great that you put more focus to the revision rather than covering the material length. You don't
Yes.
refer to 10
Schemes
source
and reports.
material.
Yes.
Yes, I
Schemes
don't
and
refer.
reports boosters, I referred all
Mhm,
the. I was doing schemes and reports monthly also,
mhm,
and then if I was not able to do it for some months, then
mhm.
I referred to the final booster, schemes
Right,
booster,
right.
reports booster, all boosters.
Hmm. So I think what you used to do for the ESI is you first of all summary sheet, and again for the same strategy that you did for the FM, you applied it for the ESI static. But yes, for current, you compiled the notes, and what you did was you did the material, and if something is skipped or you are not able to cover it, you rely on the booster for that.
Hmm.
Right. So
Yes.
I think again, very smart approach कि once you are not able to cover something, don't push yourself or force yourself कि नहीं ये हो नहीं रहा है तो but you'll have to do it. Rather take a smart approach. If something like toned down material आपके पास है, तो for a certain part you can refer to that. For whole part you have a separate document. I think that is great. Now coming to the
And
descriptive.
one thing I would like to say that you do not have to stress yourself out while
Hmm.
working. If 1 day or 2 days or even 3 days you are not able to study, so don't be like इतना time तो waste कर दिया, अब क्या होगा. Fourth day again, just start studying without thinking कि वो 3 दिन waste हो गए. 3 दिन के चक्कर में अपना चौथा दिन भी waste मत करो.
Hmm.
ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपने एक हफ्ते में ही पढ़ाई नहीं की.
Hmm.
2 दिन नहीं पढ़ा चलेगा, पर तीसरे दिन आपका वही जो 2 दिन से पहले वाला अप्रोच था वही आ जाना चाहिए, और आपको दुगनी फुर्ती के साथ आपको पढ़ना होगा उसको कवर करने के लिए,
Hmm.
रादर देन उसकी उसी में बैठ के रोना कि नहीं यार मेरा तो सारा टाइम ही चला गया.
आई
मतलब
थिंक फॉर
कोशिश.
वर्किंग कैंडिडेट ये बहुत 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 अच्छी एडवाइस होने वाली है कि मतलब थोड़ा सा पॉजिटिव रहो, जो हो गया उस पे.
कंसिस्टेंसी डेज से नहीं, आपके माइंड में होनी चाहिए कि हाँ मैंने वो 2 दिन पहले पढ़ा था, मुझे मैं वहीं पर हूँ, अब वहीं से मैं उसको वापस स्टार्ट कर सकता हूँ. और ऐसे डेज में भी होनी ही चाहिए. एक दिन छूट गया चलेगा, पर मोर ऐसा ज्यादा दिन नहीं होना चाहिए.
राइट. आई थिंक दैट्स अ ग्रेट एडवाइस अगेन कि इफ यू आर वर्किंग स्ट्रेस आउट नहीं करना है. अगर 2 दिन नहीं पढ़ा है तो तीसरे दिन स्टार्ट करो पढ़ना. डोंट होल्ड ऑन टू दैट रिग्रेट कि आई हैव नॉट स्टडीड फॉर 2 days, सो व्हाट आई विल डू इन 3 days. थर्ड डे में कम गो बैक टू द 2 day earlier what you were doing, what you were covering. Go with that mentality. Consistency should be in your approach and in your mind. Not like कि आज में just you are just covering it blindly, and if you are not able to cover, everything is messed up. It is not like that. And especially it is for the working candidates. uh Sometimes you are stressed, sometimes you feel like exhausted and you are not able to study. It's no issue. Bhargavi is the example, great example, I would say, how she was able to manage everything and was able to crack RBI grade B. Now Bhargavi, when we are talking about the phase 2, so there we have also descriptive English. So descriptive English mein we have essay, we have reading comprehension, we have Prezi. So how did you manage to prepare for descriptive English component?
In descriptive English, one needs to read. If the content is strong, then one is confident कि हाँ मुझे कुछ तो पता है. And if the content is not strong, you can make it strong by reading several essay books, good essay books, or I must say the notes. I refer to the EduTap study material for English also. I read those. There are 2 to 3 compilations PDFs for essay material. So I refer to all those. First of all, I thought इतना सारा कैसे read करूंगी, but then important and mostly 75% I covered it. So it gives you a confidence कि हाँ almost सारे topics covered हैं. किसी में से कुछ भी आता है तो एकदम blank तो नहीं रहूंगी. And then जो 10 to 12 probable topics होते हैं ऐसे में, जो आपको लगता है कि चांस है कि आ सकते हैं, तो उनको वेरी मतलब बहुत अच्छे से कर लेने का. उसमें भी जो आपने कुछ डेटा कंपाइलेशंस अगर बनाए हैं अपने, जैसे कुछ पॉपुलेशन का डेटा है, कुछ यूएनडीपी से जो अभी कुछ डेटा आया था पॉपुलेशन के रिगार्डिंग, वो इस तरह के कुछ कोई इंडेक्स का डेटा, कोई रिपोर्ट की कुछ अच्छा डेटा, तो वो सब एक जगह आपने लिख रखा है. अगर एक ही पेज, ज्यादा नहीं बनाने का, 10-12 पॉइंट्स ही, तो उनको ही आप उसमें इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दो. ये इसके लिए ज्यादा वो नहीं करना का कि मेरा तो ये बना ही नहीं, लास्ट तक बन ही जाता है. जो प्रिपेयर कर रहे होते हैं 6-7 महीने, उनका बन ही जाता है ये. तो डोंट टेक प्रेसी एंड आरसी लाइटली, बिकॉज वन में थिंक कि प्रेसी शॉर्ट ही तो करना है, बट उसको शॉर्ट करना भी एक आर्ट ही है. उसमें आपको अपने वर्ड्स में लिखना है. यू कैन नॉट बी लाइक जस्ट वहां से 2-4 लाइनें उठा के लिख दी और ऊपर एक टाइटल डाल दिया, नहीं, उसको आपको अपने वर्ड्स में ही एक्सप्रेस करना है, तो उसके लिए उसकी समझ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और आरसी में भी ऐसा ही है, आप उसमें से लाइंस उठा के नहीं लिख सकते, यू हैव टू कॉम्प्रिहेंड द एंटायर आरसी, वो कहना क्या चाहता है, वो आपको क्या समझाना क्या चाह रहा है, एंड देन ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू आंसर। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल रीड द क्वेश्चंस फॉर आरसी एंड देन गो फॉर रीडिंग द पैसेज, कॉम्प्रिहेंड इट इन योर ब्रेन कि वो कह क्या रहा है, एंड देन यू कैन आंसर द क्वेश्चंस। एंड प्रैक्टिस इज important, and give the entire mock test, English ka sectional mock test.
Right,
I
right.
first of all did Pressy, then I went for RC. First of all, look at the topic of the essay, so that background में वो दिमाग में चलता रहे कि हाँ essay में ये पूछा है, तो वो अपने आप उसका कुछ ना कुछ आपके दिमाग में बनता रहेगा। And start with the I started with Pressy, एंड प्रेसी के टॉपिक की हेडलाइन पे ज्यादा स्ट्रेस नहीं करना, विद इन 1 मिनट जो आपको समझ आए आप एक टॉपिक हेडिंग बना दो। क्योंकि 2019 में मैं ऐसे किया था, प्रेसी की हेडिंग पे ही बहुत देर तक सोचती रही कि अच्छा सा हेडिंग बन जाए, बट ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि हर, मतलब नॉर्मल एवरेज भी चलेगा हेडिंग, अंदर मटेरियल अच्छा आपको लिखना है। और यही चीज फिर आरसी, देन फर्स्ट प्रेसी, देन आई अटेम्प्टेड आरसी। RC may read questions and then do the passage, because these two things will be done, then you will be left for essay, you can devote your all the time to essay, the left time. And the
Right. So you said ki in phase 2 you took help of the mock, like beside making the, probable list of topics that were there in the English, practicing on those, referring to the material, fodder material that is given by EduTap. You also like went ahead and give mock. So how important you would say ki mocks are if somebody is preparing for the mains?
mocks are very important. Without mocks, you think that you will just go on the exam hall, go in the exam hall, and you will start writing. It will not happen like that. You have to practice beforehand, so that the same speed you can achieve while there in the hall. Because in the hall, everybody is typing, and they everybody starts typing the very instant, because you don't have time to think there. You don't get even a single minute to stop and think कि अब आगे क्या लिखूं, while writing only you have to think कि आगे क्या लिखना है. So it comes only with practice, कि आपने घर पे प्रैक्टिस किया उस चीज की, तो आप लिखते लिखते आगे का क्या लिखना है वो सोचो। हाँ, क्वेश्चन कौन सा अटेम्प्ट करना है वो सब तो सोचना ही है, चॉइस ऑफ क्वेश्चन तो, बट ऐसे में और उसमें इतना टाइम नहीं मिलता है कि आप जॉट डाउन भी शुरू में जॉट डाउन करने का थोड़ा टाइम मिलेगा, बट लास्ट में आप देखोगे कि वर्ड लिमिट पूरी करने के लिए यू हैव टू कंटिन्यूअसली राइट।
Right, right. So I think you have also explained well how important mocks are. Ki if you are not making mistakes in mocks, then you will be repeating that mistakes in the actual examination. तो ओवर एस्टिमेट और ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं होना है, मॉक्स देके हम लोगों ने सारी चीजें देख लेनी है, देन ओनली वी शुड अपीयर फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन. आई थिंक दैट्स ग्रेट. नाउ कमिंग टू द नोट मेकिंग, सिंस यू टेल कि यू मेड सम नोट्स, right? In the phase 2 also you jot down the point आपने लिखे थे, for the material essay का you also prepared. How important is note making actually for the RBI Grade B examination?
Note making is important for the current affairs. One cannot always just see videos or just read the material and it gets into your brain. If you are watching something, you should write it down so that you can revise it. I made monthly current affairs notes, annual report, economic survey, budget. I made some notes, not all the notes, but yes, I made some of the notes for RBI annual report. I made the notes because you watch the video and you get the PDF and listen to it. You read it, but then the important points, just one page for RBI annual report I made, because not everything is going to be asked from that. You can just make a small one pager note for all the things. That is handy, that helps you a lot. And economic survey and budget, I use the PDF, that compilation that EduTap had given, so I just refer to it and I underline the material in it. I did not make notes for economic survey and budget, but other reports and schemes I made my notes.
Right. So
It wasn't possible for all the schemes and reports. I started कि I will make notes for everything. I wasn't able to make for everything, but just to start also helps you कि हाँ आपने अपनी writing में कुछ लिखा है, तो it will definitely help you in the end. It keeps you motivated and focused also.
right, I think if somebody is in habit of making notes, they should go for it. But
Yes.
not very bulky note, very small note, just like you gave the example ki you used to, for one page notes you make. So I think for the whole annual report, I think that is great advice or great example also. Okay, the whole thing is not going to come in the examination. So filter it out and make the concise and last minute revision purpose notes.
Yes, yes.
And for schemes and reports, you did the same. And yes, for some report, if you're not in the habit of making reports, you can just download the material and highlight the point accordingly.
Yes, yes, I used to do that.
Yeah, that is great. Now, if we are talking about the phase two, यहाँ पे now word limit is also there in the descriptive component कि भाई 400 words का आंसर लिखना है, 600 word का आंसर लिखना है. So how important do you think is maintaining the word limit, or only the content of the answer is more than enough?
Actually, what I could write, I wrote that material, and then what I saw was everybody was typing. My content was over. It was like मुझे जितना आता था इसमें जो लिख सकती थी मैंने लिख दिया. अभी पढ़े हैं 20-25 मिनट पढ़े हैं and everybody else is typing in the room. The keys are just running. Hush, 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 hush. So what I thought was मेरा कम या तो मैंने मटेरियल कम लिखा है तो आई थॉट कि वर्ड लिमिट कम होने की वजह से रिजेक्ट ही ना हो जाए स्टार्टिंग में ही. कुछ कम तो है ही 100-200 वर्ड्स आर लेस. 100 वर्ड्स नहीं थे 200 to 250 वर्ड्स वर लेस. So I wrote 2 to 3 lines in all the questions, in all the answers. 2 to 3 lines. I added all 2 to 3 lines in all the answers. It was for ESI and English. So I think yes, word limit is important. If there is 250 words less, then maybe the examiner will see that. So I don't know how it goes, but yes, you have to write sufficient material in order to get.
Okay, so I think first one should write whatever they know in each answer, and if then time allow, then yes,
Yes,
you can go and fortify your word limit.
yes, yes.
I think that is great. Now coming to after giving the phase two, how was the feeling? Were you feeling कि okay, phase two was good and maybe I will be able to clear it, and you start preparing for interview, or were you like कि नहीं थोड़ा dicey है, I don't know, अभी थोड़ा wait कर लेते हैं?
Phase two was I gave my 100% in phase two. After coming from the exam hall, I was like इससे ज्यादा तो मैं लिख ही नहीं सकती थी. एक शब्द नहीं आ सकता था इससे ज्यादा मेरे अंदर से. So I was satisfied कि हाँ मैं मुझे जो आता था मैं तो सारा लिखा ही. अब वो उस पे है, एग्जामिनर पे है, भगवान पे है, वो जो भी रिजल्ट देंगे देखा जाएगा. बट मुझे ऐसे था कि मैं तो अपना बेस्ट दे के आई हूँ. और जहां तक मुझे लग रहा था कंटेंट तो अच्छा लिखा था बट इट ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट अदर्स हैव रिटन. अगर औरों का कंटेंट मेरे से ज्यादा अच्छा होता तो ऑब्वियसली कॉपी सिलेक्ट नहीं होती. एवरेज कंटेंट मतलब सबका इसी लेवल में था तो सिलेक्टेड.
I think that is key. And you start preparing.
एग्जाम में यही होता है कि यू मे नॉट बी द बेस्ट, यू हैव टू बी बेटर देन द रेस्ट.
So कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम वालों के लिए तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज बोल दी है कि बी बेटर देन अदर्स. डोंट इवन इफ यू आर नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट कि आई एम बेस्ट, बी बेटर. Right. So when we are talking about the preparation of interview, when did you start doing that?
After 1 month, because
Okay.
for interview 2 to 3 months are there, so I did
Mm-hmm.
not immediately start. I
Mm-hmm.
was searching for sources कि हाँ कहाँ से पढ़ना होगा क्या करना होगा, but after 1 month I started properly कि हाँ अब चलो करते हैं,
Okay.
start करते हैं.
And when you were appearing in the interview, तो what was the feeling? जब बैठे थे अकेले तो क्या दिमाग में चल रहा था? Were you anxious? Were you excited?
Actually, when the previous candidate was inside the room and I was sitting outside the room, the one candidate who sits outside the room, and मुझे क्या था, one advice I would like to give कि don't go empty stomach while in the interview. So there was biscuits. Biscuits were being offered. So I took the biscuits. I was just eating biscuits, and इतने में bell आ गई. So I ate my biscuits and then आराम से I went. It was like nervous नहीं होना है वहाँ पे जाके. The panel is very friendly and they'll try to calm you down, and moreover they'll see whether you get nervous or not. So that is a stress test also. You do not have to get nervous. Even at questions, some questions if I was not getting, I was smiling. 70% I got the answers. First question was, they asked me first question, I was not able to answer. So the other member said that you can pass on the question if you do not know. So I said, yes, sir, I don't know. I want to pass the question. So it went like that. You may not be able to answer all the questions, but you should be confident that what you know, that you know properly.
Mm-hmm.
And
So I
also,
think for. Mm-hmm.
they asked one of the RBI speeches from me. tell us one of the RBI speech. So I told it was not properly, and they did not like, I suppose के अच्छे से नहीं बता पा रही है, but ठीक है, एक एक की बजाय दो बताई थी, क्योंकि एक अच्छे से नहीं बता पाई थी तो दूसरी बता रही थी, पर दोनों में 50-50 बता पाई थी, मतलब प्रॉपरली एक भी एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया था, बट ठीक है।
So I think
वैसे
ये
फ्रेंडली चैनल है और आपको काम करने की कोशिश करते हैं, कूल है, चिल्ड आउट है, ऐसे कोई वो बात नहीं।
तो इंटरव्यू में मतलब जो भी चाह रहा हो, नर्वस नहीं होना है। द बेंच दैट इज देयर वो बहुत ही कॉर्डियल से जोवियल से होते हैं, सो यू डोंट नीड टू फील नर्वस एंड डोंट गो एम्प्टी स्टमक। दैट्स अ ग्रेट एडवाइस आई थिंक। थोड़ी डिफरेंट एडवाइस भी है। नाउ लास्टली, सिंस यू सेड कि एडुटैप वाज द पार्ट ऑफ योर जर्नी, राइट, सो हु यू वुड से वाज योर फेवरेट टीचर?
Favorite teachers, all the teachers that used to come in the videos and study, made us study. Devanshu sir, Kritika ma'am, they were my favorite teachers.
Okay, I'll pass on your greetings to them also. Lastly, since you have cracked this examination, for the aspirants who are preparing for next year or the coming years, so what one piece of advice you like to share with them?
Uh, One piece of advice that I would like to share with the coming aspirants: don't be nervous. Don't take this exam like this is on the top of what. If you have that inside yourself, you can do, and you will be able to do. Just believe in yourself, and you will be able to do that. Keep that thing in your mind and keep your internal motivation high. uh, you will be able to do that. If I can, you can also do that. That I
I
would like to
think
say this.
I think ma'am have also passed on her wishes also ki if she can do it and you can do it also, but you need to have confidence in yourself also and faith in the examination also. So that is great. Thank you so much for being here with us, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I wish you luck and I wish you great luck in your job also. And I hope you'll enjoy this journey. Now you have cracked this examination. This was a great journey and we have taken a lot of lesson here. So again, congratulations on clearing this examination. Uh,
Thank you.
and I wish everyone luck who is watching this video and preparing for the examination, and we'll meet soon.